Hi, this is your host Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. And in this video, we're going to assemble Eaglemoss's Back to the Future Delorean. This is issue number 20, and in issue number 20, we're going to assemble the intake manifold on the engine. So stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting little build here for you, and let's get started. Welcome back. Let's look at the magazine. Like always, we get the table of contents first thing, drive time, which is our building steps, production diary, the power of love, and time traveler's guide. And they give us a preview of all the parts that come with this issue. If you haven't done so already, USA subscribers, please head over to Eaglemoss and subscribe to this. It's readily available to everyone in the USA. I put a link in the description below. They have fantastic customer service. I've had to request some a little bit. It's nothing to worry about, and they were very fast to response and got me what I needed. Drive time. So we assemble the intake manifolds. So there's quite a lot involved here, and a lot of screws we'll be putting in, but no biggie. And then we get into the production diaries, and this is cool here because most of the articles that you'll find in this magazine have never been published before in any other publications. So with that, you're going to get an inside aspect of the filming of this movie and what they did with a lot of the props and the acting. So it's well worth the subscription for the magazine alone. 4 pages of that. And then we get into the power of love, right, which was Huey Lewis in the News, his music made famous in the movie. And lastly, Jailbird Joey. Marty meets a notorious member of the family in unlikely but strangely familiar circumstances. And then they give us a preview of the next part, which is our cylinder head covers and thermostats we'll be doing in the next issue. So with that, let's get started on looking at these parts and let's build. Here's our parts bag, which contains all the manifold parts. And I'll take these out, we'll get a closer look at them, and then we'll do the assembly. I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of the parts. All the parts here are plastic. We have the left air intake. We have the right air intake. We have the bottom intakes. We have the intake manifolds themselves, 3 of them. And we have a bunch of AP screws. So with that, let's get assembly. Here's all the parts we need for our step 1. We're going to be assembling the intake manifold. We will need 6 AP screws. Now we need to install the intake manifolds on the bottom side of these, just like that. And probably easier just to do them one at a time, as such. And they'll be going across like that. I want to make sure that they're lined up like they're supposed to be. And we'll put our screws in. We'll have to turn it over to put the screws in. So just to keep it simple, we'll just do one at a time. In this case, we're going to insert that on there and put our screw in. And I'm not going to tighten them down so we can reposition. There's one. I'll get the rest of these in and I'll be right back. I have all the screws in. They're still loose, so all I need to do is tighten them up. And there you go. They are all tightened down. Turn this over. The next step, we want to make sure that we have the short side on this end, and we're going to install our first air intake. The first one we're going to install is the one that has on the very end of it. It has this notch here, and that's the one we're going to install on this side, just like such, making sure that our short end goes into that, and you can see our screw holes line up. That would be the right hand side. It has an R on it, if you guys can see that, and we'll put that on next. Once again, we're going to be using AP screws for this, 2 of them. Get them both started. Kind of see that with the side camera. Once again, we don't want to over tighten because we're going into plastic. Then we'll turn this around and we're going to put the next side in. In this case, the other side has that notch kind of in the middle. That's going to go inward, inside, and the smooth side is going to be outside. So we're going to verify this is our left intake. Verify that the holes do line up, and they do. And we're going to install 2 more screws. Try to reposition it so everybody can see it on the side camera. And 1 more. And that's complete. Next step, we're going to grab the top of the engine from issue 15, and we're going to install the intake manifold on top of that. Now, make sure you position the intake manifold correctly. We want to have actually the short side, like I said, identified with the holes on front to face the front of the engine where your water pump is. The back side looks like that. So we simply will lay this down into those holes, just like that. And we'll flip it over. And we're going to install 6 AP screws. Being careful with your pipe on the side, you might want to support it just a little bit. If you guys can see that pipe hanging down right there, we don't want to break that. So we're going to have to support it a little bit while we put the screws in. And we're going to put all 6 in, right here, and right here. So with that, I'll be right back and I'll show you when I'm done with that. And this is the last screw. Tighten them all down. They went in very easily. And with that, we are finished with issue 20. This was fun. I had a lot of fun putting this together, and it's really starting to look like an engine. Look at the detail that this has. And that's just the beginning, folks. There's lots more detail to this kit. So if you haven't done so already and you're a USA subscriber, subscribe to the Eaglemoss Back to the Future DeLorean. I put a link in the description below. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like, hit the bell for all updates. With that, everybody take care. I know a lot of stuff is happening in the world right now, and you just take care of yourself. That's what's important. Happy modeling. Take care.